Continuing argumentative text, we are going to look at the pros and cons of classroom pets. Many students and teachers are excited at the idea of having a classroom pet. There are a number of benefits that come with classroom pets, as well as some challenges to consider when deciding if a pet is the right addition to your classroom. Reptiles, fish, and rodents are the most common classroom pets. Guinea pigs are a great choice because they don't require too much care or exercise, and they're larger than hamsters or gerbils, so they are easier for young children to handle. Bearded dragons are one of the best classroom lizards, as they are gentle-tempered and generally don't mind being handled. Fish are an excellent choice for classrooms that hope to observe rather than handle their pets. Betta fish are especially easy to take care, for they are used to living in puddles as their natural habitat. Having a classroom pet allows students the opportunity to develop responsibility in caring for a living creature. Teachers may choose to assign daily pet care responsibilities to single students or groups of students at a time. Students can change food and water, clean the cage, and help the pet get exercise as necessary. Certain students may also have the responsibility of caring for the pet completely over weekends and during school vacations. Classroom pets provide lots of opportunities for bringing lessons alive. Teachers may choose to have students write about their classroom pets. They may also assign research projects using the class pet as a starting point. A class pet also allows students to see important science principles in action. Class pets can even help students learn empathy as they care for the animal and watch it grow. Class pets can feel overwhelming. Often, students and teachers must care for pets every single day. This includes days like weekends and school breaks when nobody is planning to be at school. This may involve the teacher spending extra time at school or extra responsibility for the school custodians. It can be expensive to have a class pet. First, the teacher must pay for the animal out of his or her own funds. Then it is important to have a safe and comfortable home for the animal to live in, as well as food for it to eat. Depending on the type of class pet, there may even be vet bills involved that the teacher must pay for. If cost is a concern, some organizations are willing to donate money to teachers hoping to get a class pet for their classroom. The teachers must apply and explain all of the reasons that they would like a class pet. Then the organization will decide whether or not to award the teacher money and exactly how much they will give. Do you think your classroom should have a class pet? There is a lot to consider, so be sure to do your research carefully. Talk to other students in your school and see if anyone has experience with a class pet. Talk to your school leaders and custodians to see what they are comfortable with and if they are willing to help. If you decide a class pet is right for your class, be sure to choose your pet carefully and take good care of it. Sorry, I know that's kind of hard to see, but this is the best that I could do. Alright, so we are going to move right along. Let's put this back in present mode. Okay, so we know that the author's topic that he is writing about is class pets. And so let's look at some of the pros. What are some pros to having a classroom pet? I'm going to give you about 20 seconds to look for your text evidence for that. And I'll give you a hint. You want to look at the beginning of each paragraph. Go. All right, that is our time. Okay, if I can turn it off. There we go. All right, sorry about the text coming in. So you should have found that having a classroom pet allows students the opportunity to develop responsibility in caring for a living creature, or classroom pets provide lots of opportunities for bringing lessons alive. So now we are going to look for the author's rebuttal. So what is the author's supporting details to back up why having a classroom pet may not be so awesome? Again, going to give you 20 seconds to find the cons for having a classroom pet. Go. Alright, that's our time again. Okay, and so you should have found that class pets can be overwhelming and it can be expensive to have a class pet. So all of these things that we are finding all back up the author's purpose for providing you, one, information about class pets. So this could be an informational text. And two, it is an argumentative text that is giving you a persuasion. So they're either going to persuade you to have a class pet, or they can be persuading you to not get a class pet. All right, moving right along, we are going to look at what students are saying. So this is Andre from Lakeland, Florida, and he thinks that having a class pet is a great idea. Pets are fun to play with, are cute, and can teach kids responsibility. The kids in the class can make sure the pet gets enough exercise and has a good life while living in the classroom. Students in class can also need to make sure that the pet gets enough food and water each day, and that the cage gets cleaned out. So that's where all the responsibility comes in. I don't think a classroom pet costs too much money. Kids can even chip in a little bit of the money to get a classroom pet that they choose. It's also a good idea to research what type of pet will be the best in the classroom. I think a bunny would be a good pet because they are easy to take care of and they are so cute and fluffy. So that is Andre's argumentative text, where he is trying to persuade maybe his teacher or just persuade the audience that class pets are a good idea. Let's look at another. This is Cindy from Albany, New York. First of all, I think classrooms should not have pets. So there's her rebuttal to Andre. She is giving the argumentative text, or the argument that classroom pets are a no-go. To me, I think pets are a distraction in class, especially if that pet makes noises. Kids go to school to learn, not to be distracted by animals. I know some schools do not even allow pets in class, and I think this is the right decision. I also know that taking care of a pet can be very expensive, and who has to pay for this? Your teacher! That is definitely not fair for the teacher. The teacher would have to pay for the food, the vet bill if the pet gets sick, the cage, which are all very expensive. I know this because my parents bought me a hamster and it was very expensive to get everything we needed. It is also not a good idea to have a class pet because there are a lot of breaks from school, and then who has to take care of the pet? Again, the teacher has to take it home, which is not fair either. So I think both Andre and Cindy have very strong arguments here in their argumentative texts, and I think that they both have valid points, and I am kind of on both sides. I tend to go more with Cindy, which I don't want the responsibility of a class pet. Sorry, guys. So you are going to give your opinion and write in argumentative text. 1. Should class pets be allowed in school? Why or why not? 2. If pets should be allowed, what kind would be the best? And you're going to explain. 3. Should schools limit the types of pets allowed in classrooms? Again, you're going to explain because I want to know If you think we should be able to bring in a dog, or if you think we should be able to bring in a Komodo dragon, why or why not? What types of pets should not be allowed in school? And what would you do if you were the principal of a school? Would you allow those class pets? Would you not? And tell me why.